5 ways to recognize a sudden spiritual awakening or a Kundalini activation. Now, this could be for anyone completely different, and what I want to say is that this will probably happen in the most unexpected ways. So you can go to any kind of workshops on spiritual healing or development or anything like that, and you try your best, but it doesn't really seem to work for you, although that's what the mind wants to believe. But sometimes receive to the extent that we can handle in this very moment. And sometimes we have done already so much on ourselves that suddenly we can receive a little bit more, and then this increase of energy that we can suddenly feel, it's an incredible upliftment. But once again, it will always happen in the most unexpected ways when we suddenly are going through what the mind likes to perceive like a disappointment, or something that we suddenly feel some sort of a pain, or we make a sacrifice, or our mind like us to believe that we have to go through some extent of suffering, or we lose a part of our identity, or we were hoping for something different, we were expected a different outcome, but then it doesn't go our way. And this sudden pain that we suddenly feel, that is where the light will probably enter into our being, and that suddenly gives us an incredible amount of energy, and we feel through our chakras this energy rising, which is really what the Kundalini is about. We can feel it in our lower chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar plex, and we suddenly can feel it burning in our heart. It can feel like there is an incredible amount of light coming into our heart, which is penetrating our soul, our spirit, giving these very beautiful and profound insights. So here are these 5 signs that could indicate that you're suddenly going through, let's say, a spiritual awakening. Number 1, you completely see through all the BS belief system that you have created for yourself, and you suddenly get an instant reminder of why exactly you are here on planet Earth. We are going through all these densities of lower states of consciousness, of survival-based consciousness, of how we think we should be operating in the world, of who we think we are based on the expectations from others, the world around us, society and whatnot, that we have covered a layer of dirt or mud around our essence. But then the first spiritual awakening can be really like a penetration of light into that, gives you a direct reminder of what your true purpose really is. For example, emotional mastery. We still live in the ages of emotional darkness, that we can't really seem to have a higher level of self-reflection over what's really going on, what do we really feel, and when some sort of external circumstance or another person creates a trigger for us and we feel in a certain way, that could indicate like, wait a minute, I am not my emotion, I feel this, which is probably serving me as a reminder of what it is that I really have to do here, is to stand back on that, take a step back, so you can take and see everything from a helicopter view, is getting back into this visionary mode. And wait a minute, I am not my emotions. I have these emotions, but I'm not my emotions, and I'm here to learn to become a master on it, not react to it, which is reaction, is the same kind of action on repeat, but instead you are able to respond with a higher level of consciousness, and you can step away from it, put yourself out of the equation of what you thought you needed in that moment, put your own needs away from it, and see to the situation with a higher level of empathy and compassion. Really look at the situation as how it is, without the judgments of how you think it should be. So this could be like one sign, is like you're here to become a master over your own emotions. So you can really not so much control, but influence your situation or environments from a stoic point of view. Like you take it as it is. without the judgments. Number 2, you don't always get what you want, you get what you need, or what your soul needs in this very moment to grow and expand. We always think we want so many things in order to feel good, to feel belonging, to feel loved, to feel received and all of that, and that our external environments and other people can fill that void that we all carry within us. But we don't always get what we want. We get exactly what we need, although it can feel like a disappointment or a sense of pain or suffering or sacrifice, but that can really grow us further into a higher state of consciousness. Number 3, this is probably more relevant to the masculine energy. Once again, men, women, we all carry a part of masculine energy, but probably for us as men, we have more masculine energy and we always feel that we need to prove our worth through accomplishments, because what's happening is that men are being valued based on their productivity and what they can provide, and we have that idea as well that we need to provide material, financial comforts in order to be valued. But instead of seeing yourself like you are only valued by your hard work, the hustle, the grind, the labor you're putting in order to achieve a certain level of material or financial success, sometimes we need to step away from that, let go of that, and focus more on the hard work. The hard work of opening up the heart, which can provide both containment and provide another or a different level of unconditional love to the situation, to yourself, to others, which can really provide a higher level state of consciousness. So don't just value your hard work and get external results. Focus more on the hard work. Number 4, develop a higher level or immunity towards neglect or rejection. Let's face it, we all fear at some points like rejection. Of course, you can go into the hustle, the grind, go into marketing, sales, entrepreneurship, and really beat yourself up like I'm going to push through all these rejections and this feeling of neglect, and we can cover it up by becoming tougher and layer ourselves up with emotional armor, which is quite the opposite of expanding the heart consciousness. But this feeling of neglect that we can experience is actually this void which can create feelings of loneliness and isolation, and that can really prevent from moving forwards and perhaps, let's say, dedicate your time to mundane work or other commitments or tasks that is leading towards your true work that you actually want to fulfill in the world. And once again, if other people or situations or circumstances make you feel in a certain way, don't put the blame and the shame on others. Always take this as your own responsibility. Like, hey, you know, this or that made me feel in this way. You know, what is that I need to look at to myself in order to fill this void more with unconditional love towards yourself, so you don't feel or less the emotional neglect or rejection. So develop a higher level of immunity towards neglect and rejection. Number 5, sometimes when we go through, let's say, an emotional hardship and we tend to lose ourselves in that, we react and all of that, and we become angry or we show emotions to the situation or circumstance, then sometimes you gotta go and once again really take a step back, take a deep breath in, and you can feel the energy raising up from the lower chakras into the heart, and perhaps it can open up the higher chakras like the third eye and and the crown chakra to receive a higher insight or inspiration. Like, wait a minute, you know, I can see my whole life until this point like a training grounds towards self-mastery and emotional mastery. Like everything you have been through, all the difficulties, the challenges, the emotional hardships, the setbacks, the disappointments, the failures, the sacrifices, and your perception of what suffering looked like for you. See it as a whole training ground of who you have become until this point and how you're going to handle this certain type of situation right now. So this could create, let's say, a higher level of appreciation and gratitude for everything you have been through, and instead of creating your whole story, your whole identity around it, always see it like everything you have been through is not just about the training ground or the learning school, which it is, but it's there as an invitation to give you a reminder of who you are at a deeper sense of your essence, of your true authentic self, and who you choose to be and become despite the circumstances, despite disappointments and whatnot. So these are, or could be, one of many different kind of spiritual awakening signs, or a sudden Kundalini awakening rise, which you can really feel the energy rising into your whole energy system, your whole energy body, which for some of us is a lot to take in. But once you can start to deal with it, you can really access much higher spiritual knowledge, wisdom, power or healing towards yourself, which eventually you can also start to pass over to those who want to benefit from it as well. So hopefully these insights were helpful. If you have been through any kind of spiritual awakening journey or sudden insight that you suddenly got, it could be for any kind of way, you know, maybe you can experience it in a workshop or a private healing session, or maybe running through a forest or running near the sea, that you get so much of energy suddenly, or maybe you experience that from a partner, a soulmate, twin flame or whatever, that you suddenly get this awakening like, whoa, okay, this is so incredible, powerful, what is going on here? But of course it can go through loss or sorrow, when suddenly you lose someone you deeply cared about, like a family member or a loved one, and then you really get to these higher states of insights. So please let me know what it is that you have experienced. Have you experienced something similar, or you had different kind of insights when you're going through these spiritual awakening journeys, or that you suddenly felt your energy was completely rising and it felt like burning, like your whole heart was like receiving or like shouting out a beam of light into the universe. Please let me know, and I look forward to learn more about your journey.